How's it going, everybody? We have another episode in the corner with your cornerman Ryan Quinn and the Italian Gangster Danny Sabatello. How you doing, my man?
Doing great, bro. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm so happy you're on here, bro. One of the things I wanted to do with this, as I told you previously, is I want to be able to be one of the people like you're one of the stars of the future. I want to be able to be one of your first big time interviews, and this is starting for me with the podcast and everything, and hopefully it'll just start them together for both of us. So, but
Yeah,
you're a
absolutely.
lot further ahead than I
I
am, man. I'll tell you that much, bro. So,
I love that too because you had a very successful career in Bellator, so it's kind of like we're kind of feeding off of each other too.
hell yeah, I love it. Actually, I have that shirt you're wearing. I love it. I wear it all the time.
Great shirt.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I like all their new their new attire they got. I gotta get a few more. I was actually trying to find some of the older stuff just to be nostalgic, but I'm like, I like the newer stuff. I like the NYC shirts.
I'm also hoping for this Hawaii card that they're gonna have some sick gear that they'll be able to give to us.
Dude, speaking of sick gear, I have your t-shirt too, the Italian Gangster. You getting some more stuff made up for this fight or what?
Yeah, I'm talking to FTWR brand, same brand that's been having all my shirts, and we're gonna get together and we're gonna have something come out here pretty soon.
Awesome. Maybe something like the gangster takes over Hawaii. I don't know. I don't make the shirts. That's up to you guys.
No,
Oh,
yeah, it's definitely going to have a Hawaii type theme. I think if you're going to go to Honolulu, Hawaii, you got to have something in there with Hawaii. But I'm also going to keep my own style, as the Italian gangster. That's just how it has to be. We're not like totally finalized on what it's going to look like, but we'll get there shortly.
awesome, awesome. So I know you're training hard. We're gonna get into that, but I want to talk about when you came to American Top Team. I was able to see that, and you reminded me so much of what I was trying to do, and you just really just did it all right, and you just went straight forward. It was just really great. It's great to see everything coming your way right now. When I saw your name in the wild card spot, I was so pumped, man. That's why I was like, oh, I got to hit him up right away. Actually, I was like, I didn't have your number at the time. I had to get it from Sal, and I remember this is how it was because I literally a month ago was like, MMA should do a wild card spot in their tournaments and their Grand Prix like NFL does, baseball does. I was like that'd be cool. So what? It's another fight. And then I saw Bellator announced it with their Grand Prix. I was like, oh cool, they're doing it. I was like, oh shit, that's Danny. I was so pumped about it. I was like, that's great. But okay, as always, I always get off topic of what I was gonna say. But tell us how that came to fruition.
Yeah, so I was actually scheduled to fight Jornal Lugo anyways. I don't think it was originally going to be for like a wild card spot or anything like that. It wasn't going to be, the winner gets in the tournament. He has been winning his fights. He just beat Brian Moore, and then before that, he beat a guy named Keith Lee. Not two very good guys. They both suck. And then I beat Brett John. So we both kind of been going up with our careers. So I think they just wanted us to fight. And it just so happens to be, they needed a spot. They needed to fill in a spot. So my manager called me, told me I was fighting Jornal Lugo. I was already fucking pumped because he's from South Florida also. So I've been calling him out for a while now. I think that's a great stylistic matchup for me. I think I beat the shit out of him. I think I dog him. So I was very excited when my manager told me when I was fighting him. A couple of days later, he called back and he said, you know what? This is for a fucking spot in the Grand Prix. And, I was head over heels about it, dude. It's just, I'm still so excited about it. We're 25 days out from April 22nd, the fight in Honolulu, and I already can't sleep. I'm just very excited about it. But yeah, after he told me that I was going to be in the Grand Prix, I didn't know if it was going to be more of a 16-man bracket. I didn't know how it was going to play out, but I kind of like that it's a wild card. As you said earlier, other sports have that for their playoffs, and this whole Grand Prix tournament is pretty much the playoffs. It's just MMA's type of playoffs. So it's just really exciting, and it is only 3 rounds as opposed to the rest of the tournament. It's going to be 5 rounds, but that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. But 5 rounds definitely helps my style. I'm more of a conditioned fighter, and I have really good conditioning, really good gas tank. But in three rounds, it shouldn't be an issue, anyways. I'm going to finish the guy inside 3, anyways.
Yeah, man. No, seriously. Yeah, I remember his name. As one at the amateur circuit. I told you. He came and trained under our practices a few times, and yeah, you guys. It's almost like you guys were on a collision course just to come meet, and here it is. And sometimes it works out better, almost right. Like now, you're both going to make a little bit of money as opposed to fighting at one of the lower level shows.
Yep.
And now you're both in a place. I mean, someone's got to lose, but you're both in a place where you're going to be doing well no matter what. Yeah, I like the fight for you, as I told you. We don't really got to get into the styles and everything like that. But all right, so let's circle back now. I remember when you walked into American Top Team. I know everyone knows you as the Italian Gangster, and they see the product that you built. I was able to see this beforehand, and I want everyone else to know what I saw because I think it adds to your character, both in and out of the cage. It's not easy to walk into American Top Team. To be a walk on there, you got to earn your keep. I know when I was there, oh, you know how to wrestle? Get to the cage. He's fighting in the UFC in 2 weeks. You better take him down.
Yep.
And it was more or less same thing with you. They put you through the grinder, and I remember when you walked in with your bag and you're like, let's train, let's go. And you clearly you carved out a spot for yourself. That's congratulations in itself. It was, and we just all loved watching you just put in that hard work. Tell us about like when you first started there.
Yeah, you know what? After college, I wrestled at Purdue in the Big Ten, and I always knew I was gonna be a fighter when I was done wrestling. And then that time came where my wrestling career was done. I moved back to Chicago, and there's not really any amazing gyms in Chicago. I was going to this one where there wasn't too many people, and it kind of just got to a point where I was like, man, if I want to accomplish my goals and be world champion one day, I need to make a big change, and I need to go to a great gym. So, why not do it big and go to the best gym in the world? So I moved down to South Florida and joined American Top Team. And it was a crazy experience because it's one thing to join the team when you're in the UFC or Bellator and already established, and it's another to have zero fighting background and to come in. So it's obviously a little bit intimidating, but I knew I had that wrestling background, and I'm just a confident individual as it is. I had very high hopes for myself in fighting, and I was very, I really believed in my skill set. And I know that I'm a kind of athletic person, so I would pick up on striking. But even still, I'm immediately thrown to the wolves. I wasn't just walking into a gym and doing stand up with a guy. I was going with Marlon Moraes and Pedro Munoz, Kyoji Horiguchi from the day that I got there. So it's obviously a bit intimidating, but I think that's what people need. Sometimes you need to be kicked the shit out of in order to get better. And this isn't a sport where it's all sunshine and rainbows. And that my career has just kind of echoed that also. So, when I first got there, I was so pumped, and I still am so pumped to be a part of this team because it is the best gym in the entire world. And as time goes on, I just love it even more. And now I'm kind of one of the top dogs at the gym. And in Bellator, and I'll be competing for a Bantamweight championship.
Love it, man. I always said too when I was training, I was like, Um, I like in high school, like our team was okay in wrestling and in sports. I was never on that like state championship team. And when I went to wrestle in college, we were so. And then I got out of wrestling and I transferred, got into MMA. I was never on like that national championship team. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
when I got to ATT, I remember in like 2014, I was like, man, I'm finally part of that. Yeah, I'm a little bit older, but you know what? This is fun. It's great. I'm so happy to be part of this program right now. So I know exactly what you mean, man. Now, it's funny you bring up you're a wrestler, you're confident now. In that situation with those people that you just named, it's not easy to learn on the fly. I know me personally, I would be one of those people that was going back to my comfort zone if I was getting the shit kicked out of me, and just do something even if it wasn't going to work. Now, you didn't do that, and and then I know that it's easy to say that, but I know that didn't happen. I remember that fight in West Palm. I forgot the name of the promotion and the guy you were fighting, but he picked you up and supplayed you twice.
Yeah.
And I remember telling you I had the perfect view. Now, if I'm you in that situation, I'm still trying to wrestle because this is what, like your seventh or eighth fight?
Yeah. I think that was like my fourth fight.
Fourth fight. Okay. Yeah. All right. At that point, I had no hands. I had no confidence. I always say my first 8 or 10 fights, I was a wrestler in MMA. And then later on, I was an MMA fighter using my wrestling.
Yep.
But you like I said, this guy, he was out wrestling you. And then you broke away and just threw a head kick. And I mean, now the funny part of that story, like I said, I had the angle where basically those watching, I'm the fighter. And now I was looking at the fighter like this, and this is all I saw because I was far away. I wasn't in the corner. I was in the back warming somebody up. And I just see this. I just see, and then he fell
Yeah.
back. Oh
So,
man, it was
no,
hysterical. And then about after, go ahead.
it was great just because, I think even going into that fight, it was like my third or fourth fight. I think people expected me to just wrestle with this guy, because that's what wrestlers do, especially their first few fights. So it was just great to get a knockout, nonetheless, a fucking head kick knockout. That was great.
Yeah, and I remember after we were talking with Mo and Mako, and then Mako goes, Danny gets slammed, and then this head kick comes out of nowhere. And it was awesome. But all right, going back to my point, in my fourth fight, I wasn't throwing head kicks. I mean, fuck, in my 24th fight, I wasn't throwing head kicks. But like you were just you were able to learn and grow outside your comfort zone. That head kick didn't come from that 30 seconds in that fight where you were being out wrestled. That head kick
Right.
came from you training, getting outside your comfort zone, learning to be a complete fighter, and able to implementing that in the fight. And that is so important. That's why you're going to be such a dangerous fighter going forward, because you're going to know where to pick and choose those spots. And that's probably what's leading to your success now. What do you think about that?
No, absolutely. Because I do actually like to challenge myself a lot. And I that comes from doing it in the gym. And I attribute that head kick and that success on the feet to American Top Team. Just
Mhm.
because I am going with straight killers. It could be that I take the easy route and just wrestle these guys. I easily could do that. But I know in order to be a world champion, a Bantamweight Bellator champion, I have to be good everywhere. So you know what? What better way to try this out inside the cage? Sometimes I
Mhm.
actually get in a little bit of trouble for trusting my hands too much. In sparring, if I don't hit a shot the whole round, I get yelled at by Steve Mako or Mike Brown and saying, dude, what are you doing? Take a shot, take him down. You're best on the ground. And it's like, fuck, man. Well, I kind of like throwing my hands and feet a little bit. So I do know where my strengths and weaknesses are in a fight. I'll know exactly where to go, but man, I do love throwing hands. And that's why I think that I've evolved kind of as this complete fighter, is because I have fallen in love with, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai. And I think that that's necessary these days. I think back in the day, sometimes you could get away with being a world champion, just being strong in one area. But now
Mhm.
in MMA, man, you got to be fucking good everywhere. So I like to test myself. And if I'm testing myself at American Top Team, the best gym, just staying on my feet, then I can hang with any of these guys.
Agreed, man. Agreed. You're already doing it, like you said, and yeah, it is funny how MMA it's its own thing now, where you got to be good everywhere. And like you said, it's funny. I was talking about this. Who was I talking about this? I was talking about this with Pitbull last week. So we were talking about how like MMA went. If you were great at one thing, you could win. Then you had to be good at two things, and then it was all three. And then now you have to add these little things that these little MMA moves in there. And it's true. MMA is its own thing. And getting outside your comfort zone is so important to be the complete fighter. And you're doing all that. You got this fight in a little over 3 weeks. It's awesome. I'm sure training's going great. So the Italian Gangster. How do we come? What are the origins of the Italian Gangster? I know there's a lot of Italian Americans, a lot of paisans at American Top Team. So how'd the name come?
So growing up, I loved Rocky. And I was kind of called the Italian Stallion growing up a little bit. And then it kind of got to a time where I was in college and my career was wrapping up and I was going to go into fighting and I kind of needed a nickname. And I didn't really want to be the Italian Stallion just because it's already taken. It's Rocky Balboa, and I would fuck up
Mhm.
Rocky Balboa. So I kind of
Yeah.
wanted my own thing. And one of my college teammates, who they all claim that they made it up now, no one knows exactly who said it, but said, "How about the Italian Gangster?" And I fucking loved it, and I'm gonna run with it. I'm not one of those guys that's gonna change their nickname. That's just who I am. I kind of think it echoes my personality and my fighting perfectly. So yeah, of course, now all my friends are saying, you know what, I was the one that thought of it. I was the one that said it, but we don't know exactly who said it, but it was one of my Pretty Wrestling teammates that thought of it.
It's awesome. It could be a group thing. This could be a group thing. They could all share a little
That's
bit.
what I said. I said, you guys all are in on it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, it's like it could be like our nickname.
Right. Absolutely.
um,
Yeah, I fucking love it, dude. And I think, I live my lifestyle in a really Italian way. Obviously, I'm very Italian. My family's Italian on both sides. I got a big Italian family that I'm really close with. So it's just kind of who I am.
Man, I'm half Italian, and I'm obviously my name is completely Irish, Ryan Quinn. And I actually early on in my fights, one of my opponents came up to me like in the locker room after the fight, and he goes, "Bro," he goes, this for the first few times I watched your videos, I was watching the other guy with blonde hair, blue eyes because I
No way.
yeah, yeah. And then it wasn't until I looked a little further that I saw that you were Ryan Quinn looking all Ginzo. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny. But actually, I get that a lot. I'll be like, oh, I didn't picture you. Like, I didn't put the face to that name. I get that all the time. But all right, man. So tell us. So you're a little over 3 weeks out. Who's helping you through? What kind of sponsors you working with?
I think my managers are talking to some people right now, so we'll see about that. We don't have everyone nailed down because I think they are still like negotiating all that stuff. I don't know, but I am with Iridium Sports with Jason House, and he's great. He's been great with me my whole career. We had sponsors my last fight. Hopefully, we'll get some good ones this one, but we don't have set things because I did only get this fight last week. This hasn't been something that I've been training for a while now. But I actually, I mean, I'm always training. I always talk about how people say how long you've been in training camp and all these stuff. I'm always in fucking training camp. The fact of the matter is I train twice a day, every day at American Top Team. And I'm always in fucking training camp. So it doesn't even fucking matter if I have a fight lined up or not. It doesn't matter if I have 8 weeks or 4 weeks or 2 weeks or 6 days. It doesn't matter. Obviously when you get this opponent and a face and a name, you kind of tweak a little something here and there, and you line up some people to mimic their fighting styles. And let's say you got a jiu-jitsu guy, you just maybe work a little bit more jiu-jitsu. But I practice twice a day with straight killers who have fighting backgrounds of everything, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, we're about 3.5 weeks. I think it's 25 days now, and we're still locking stuff in.
Awesome. Yeah, I always made sure I was in a round and a half shape, no matter what time of year it was. I always made sure I was in a round and a half shape because the rest was kind of easy. One more story before we go. I remember do you still always walk to the gym? I remember seeing you with your headphones on. I'd be like, Danny, you need a ride? You'd be like, I'm good, man. All
I
right.
don't. I don't, but I needed to. I needed to do that. Some people don't understand, especially in a sport like MMA. You
Mhm.
got to start off being a dog. Every little bit helps, and this is a game of inches. This isn't basketball where if you miss a dunk, it's 2 points, or football, you miss a block, they get an extra fucking yard. This is a game of fucking inches, and 1 inch could even cost you your life. So anything I do is geared towards my MMA career. Every little
Mhm.
thing. I liked walking to the gym. It just kind of made me feel more like a dog, just get that extra step because you never know if it's going to help or not. Plus, I like living my life like a dog. I think that's where my toughness and mentality comes. And that's where the confidence comes because I think that I just do the little things. Everyone's training hard. Everyone is at a good gym now. I think after that, what separates yourself from being somebody that's going to go all the way and do the extra stuff? And I think I'm that guy that's doing the extra stuff. I'm walking to and from practice every day.
I agree with you, man. You're putting it in and it's showing tenfold, man. Danny, thank you so much for coming on. I cannot wait to see the fight. I'm so pumped about it. Definitely want to have you on again. Um, that's it. We're over and out, guys. Danny the Italian Gangster Sabatello. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah.